Many of you have asked me for an update on HIMS and HERS Health. The stock is down 32% on the day. It's been a disaster. And this is when all the haters, they come back to my videos and they say, see, this is what happens when you listen to some guy on YouTube. But the stock is still up 71% year to date, guys. I mean, most stocks are not up 71%. I've been talking about the stock from 2022. But even this year, I talked about it January 1st when it was $24. That was way before it became a FinTwit kind of stock and everyone is celebrating HIMS going up. I said it was going to double in 2025, and it did happen 2 times before the stock going back down. But today, it's something a little bit different. And it's serious stuff. I'm not going to downplay it. So I'm going to talk about it and let you know my opinion as always. In the good times, the bad times, I always, guys, let you know what I think about the stock. And if my thesis changed, if I'm selling, if I'm buying, I'm going to let you know everything. Okay. Now, NVO, they ended their partnership with HIMS over the sale of the Wegovy copycats or Wegovy kind of knockoffs. And they said HIMS and HERS has failed to adhere to the law, which prohibits the mass sale of compounded drugs under the false guise of personalization. The drug maker also accused HIMS and HERS of deceptive marketing that is putting patients' safety at risk. Now, funny enough, those things, they also existed one or 2 months ago whenever they entered the partnership, but now they have a new CEO and he doesn't want to be in the partnership. But what's really happening with NVO is having to cut the forecast after there's many replica obesity drugs in the United States, such as the HIMS compounded GLP-1s. Back when they were able to sell them in masses, NVO was hurt so much that they had to cut their guidance because they were charging patients thousands of dollars and HIMS was charging $200 or $300 or $400 for a very good product that so far had no complaints, no lawsuits, no legal action against what HIMS has done. Maybe millions of people took that kind of compounded GLP-1. Nothing has gone back to HIMS. Everything has been positive so far. But this is again what NVO is saying, and I kind of understand why they're saying it. Now, for NVO, what's funny enough is that the stock is down 5% on the day. So even NVO's shareholders believe it's a big mistake for NVO to not partner with one of the most innovative, fastest growing companies in the healthcare space, which is HIMS and HERS Health. Now, the CEO did respond to those comments, and he said, we are disappointed to see NVO's management misleading the public. And he pretty much said that NVO's commercial team has increasingly pressured HIMS to control clinical standards and steer patients to Wegovy, regardless of whatever it was clinically best for the patients. We refuse to be strong-armed by any pharmaceutical company and anti-competitive demands and all these kind of things. And he said we will continue to sell Wegovy and many different things for our patients. So he's kind of doubling down on his own kind of plan. And if you look at Eli Lilly, what Eli Lilly did is they told all the pharmaceutical companies, all the telehealth stocks, they told them, if you want to keep selling compounded GLP-1s, we will not partner with you. So HIMS decided to continue. Eli Lilly got away from HIMS, and NVO is kind of doing the same thing. Now, for me personally, I'm not too worried about the potential revenue that's lost from NVO. I mean, the company is expected to grow 56 to 63% this year, despite the partnership with NVO. I don't believe they have made anything meaningful from their partnership, which just went public a month or month and a half ago. It hasn't been too long. But the biggest misconception is that people have is they look at the 2024 revenue. They say compounded GLP-1 is making up 50% of their revenues. If HIMS can't sell it anymore, the revenues go down 50%. This is 2024, but we're now in 2025. Revenue is 2.4 billion, expected to be 2.4 billion. The weight loss revenue is going to be at least 725 million in 2025. It's nowhere close to 50% of their revenues, more like 25% of their revenues. But the weight loss revenues isn't just compounded GLP-1, it's also the oral pills. That's only $69 a month, and they don't have all the regulatory hurdles that those compounded GLP-1s have. So the oral pills have been massively successful. You also have the launch of liraglutide, which also has been growing, and it has been successful so far. So maybe out of the 725 million, maybe 300 million is coming from compounded GLP-1. So that's like maybe 15% of revenues, 13% of revenues. It's still a decent amount, but it's nothing really that I lose sleep at night because HIMS is going to lose the revenues. So it's not much about the revenues for me. It's more about the legal risk. And this is why whenever they partnered with NVO, I told you guys, I don't care how much they make from them, but what I really care about is that HIMS is partnering with the big guys, which massively reduces the likelihood of HIMS potentially being sued. And this is the worst thing you want to have if you're like a small, mid-cap kind of a pharmaceutical stock competing against the big guys where they have unlimited influence, unlimited resources, many politicians so they contribute to their campaigns and many different things. So you don't really want to be fighting with them. But the CEO of HIMS is choosing to fight with them. So I don't know what's going to happen. And I would say the most likely outcome right now is some kind of illegal action from NVO against HIMS and hers. Now, if they do take legal action, it doesn't mean that HIMS is gonna is gonna go to zero or HIMS is going bankrupt, or it doesn't even HIMS is gonna defend themselves, and it doesn't mean that they're gonna be guilty of whatever NVO is claiming that they're doing. But for me, looking at HIMS, I mean, you have a founder-led CEO. I would highly doubt that this founder-led CEO that thinks of the long term has done something in the short term outside of the law for him to maximize revenues. They have very smart people on the management team, so I would be shocked if HIMS has actually done something outside of the law. It's possible, but I highly, highly doubt it. But this is not really the first time that this has happened. When I was involved in the stock back in 2023, and you can look it up, HIMS fell 53% because of a short report that has accused it of malpractices on their website. Like, people, they love to hate on HIMS because they can't believe that you have to go to some kind of a clinic for you to fix your hair loss problems, spend thousands of dollars, but you could do it online on HIMS for a few $100s and it comes to your house. Like, people believe that's shady, there's something wrong with that. I don't know why, but that's what a lot of people believe. Now, this is what happened in 2023. HIMS defended themselves. They did an entire investigation on the company. There's nothing outside of the law, no malpractices, no shady stuff, nothing that's outside of the scope of law. And it was gone, and the stock took off from there. And I believe this will likely be the same outcome. The stock always has massive moves, 100, 200% moves, and then it goes down 40%, 50%, 30%, 67%. And if we go 60% from here, we go back to $25. It's very possible. And to me, I'm laughing because I've seen it so many times. Like, as a HIMS shareholder, you have to be used to 50, 70% decline. Those are going to be part of the story. But you also have to love the 100, 200, 250% kind of moves like the last one, which was almost 200% in 3 or 4 months. So I always say that with HIMS, you can't only like volatility on the way up, you have to be able to take this volatility on the way down and to think of the long-term potential of the company instead of short-term fluctuations. So I would say that this is a little bit concerning if we do have some kind of something that sticks around the legal side, and HIMS faces, I don't know, like a $5 billion fine or $3 billion fine, the stock's going way down. And that would be, something that could potentially change my thesis if HIMS is doing something outside the law that's not ethical and that's really not good. But so far, there's no proof of that, and I'm not seeing it. And, we'll see what happens. But I'm still a shareholder. I haven't bought the dip. Because I have a big position already, but I'm likely going to buy the dip in the future, or I'm going to sell some put options, collect income, 1 to 2% a month. If you want to learn how to sell put options, I share that in my own group. This is the link if you're interested. So thank you very much for watching. Not financial advice. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please press the like button and maybe consider subscribing. So I'll talk to you in another video.